What's up guys, Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update, so I want to break down some technicals going over the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, which are the most important indices of the United States stock market. And at the end of the video, I am going to be breaking down from a technical standpoint 3 stocks that in tomorrow's trading session are going to be on the very top of my personal watch list. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And today we had a mixed day in the markets. And earlier today, guys, before noon, it looked like we were about to have a bloodbath. However, the S&P 500 managed to turn it around and it closed at a record close, reaching a new all-time high at 4,479 points, going up 0.26%. The Dow Jones also reached a new all-time high, going up 0.31%. The Russell 2000 was the worst performing sector out of the bunch, going down 0.88%, and the Nasdaq went down 0.20%. And the futures were looking very ugly last night, guys, because we got worse than expected economic data coming out from China. Retail sales, more specifically, came out at 8.5%, an increase of 8.5%, whereas the analysts were expecting an increase of 11.5%. And the main consequence after the retail sales report came out in China was the 10-year Treasury. The 10-year Treasury yield here in the US, which fell off a cliff. Therefore, the financial sector had a very tough day. And as of now, we find the 10-year Treasury once again trading below 1.30% at 1.26%. So we have a lot of stuff going on, guys. Remember that on Wednesday, we have the Federal Open Market Committee. And the financial media here in the US is pretty much assuming that the Federal Reserve is going to announce some sort of tapering on Wednesday. And I think that the markets, and this is something that I said in one of the videos that we posted last week, I believe that the markets are okay with tapering, guys, because we have an infrastructure bill that is going to be passed anytime soon by the House. And that infrastructure bill is going to pour into the economy $1 trillion more. So I believe that the markets think that the potential process of tapering that the Federal Reserve might be potentially announcing on Wednesday is going to make things even in our economy relative, or taking into account that we are going to have an infrastructure bill that is going to pour $1 trillion more into the economy. So we have a lot of stuff going on, and we have to wait until Wednesday to see what the reaction of the markets looks like once the Federal Reserve announces, or maybe not, a potential process of tapering. So watch out for that on next Wednesday. And when it comes to the S&P 500, this index, as I just told you guys, went up today 0.26%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,479 points. And take a look at what happened this morning, guys. So we opened the trading session and the S&P 500 fell off a cliff. It actually dropped how much? So the S&P dropped something like 0.70% as soon as the trading session opened, and the bulls managed to find support at 44.37. And take a look at this red line, guys. This is the same red line that I drew in the video that we posted yesterday. And I said in that video, watch out for 2 important areas of lower support in the S&P 500. The first important area of lower support is going to be, according to my opinion, at 44.63. So that area of lower support was broken to the downside as soon as the trading session opened. And then I said, watch out for support at 44.45. And the bulls managed to find support at 44.37. So it was pretty much in the ballpark, and I don't want to toot my own horn. And take a look at how, guys, the bulls made a perfect double bottom formation this morning at 44.37, and after they were able to make this double bottom formation, the S&P 500 went on a rocket ride and it closed today at a record close at 4,480 points. So I am going to pull up here the 4-hour chart, and we are in kind of a similar situation relative to the situation that we were at on last Friday after the trading session closed. So we can see the RSI, the relative strength index of the S&P 500 at 71 points. It is elevated, no doubt about it. However, guys, I think that I am right. I have been calling out 4,500 here on the channel before we see some sort of nice pullback in the S&P 500, because I believe that 4,500 is going to act like a magnet, and it is actually acting as such because we are only 20 points away from the fat number of 4,500. So once again, if tomorrow we happen to see some sort of pullback in the S&P 500, you guys have to keep a close watch on 4462, which is the main area of lower support that I called out in yesterday's video. And once again, obviously, guys, if that area of lower support happens to be broken to the downside, then the next important area of lower support that I am going to be keeping a close watch on is going to be 4440, pretty much the low point of today's trading session. But again, we are on a clear uptrend. We are trading above the moving averages, and I do believe that I am right when I am calling out 4,500 in the S&P 500. And in the case of the Nasdaq 100, this index went up, guys. I didn't notice that. Wow, this is unbelievable. The Nasdaq 100 was at some point today down almost 1%. So the Nasdaq 100 went up 0.003%, and it closed today's trading session at 15,140 points. And if we take a look at the RSI of the Nasdaq 100, it is at 57 points. We can make the case that the Nasdaq 100, the NDX, is neither overbought nor oversold. So let me pull up here the 1 day, 1 minute, because now let me pull up the 5 day, 5 minute chart and take a look how, guys, at how 15,000 points has turned into a critical area of lower support for the bulls in the Nasdaq 100. So this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. On last Wednesday, the lower support of 15,000 points was broken to the downside momentarily. However, the bulls managed to close that trading session above 15,000 points. The same thing happened on Thursday. The lower support of 15,000 points is broken to the downside, and the bulls managed to bring up the Nasdaq 100 yet again above 15,000 points. And today the same thing happened, guys. So we are talking about an absolutely critical area of lower support in the case of the Nasdaq 100 at 15,000 points. So today, this area of lower support was broken to the downside, and the bulls managed to bring the Nasdaq 100 lower relative to the low points of last week, and the bulls managed to find support at 14,931 points, and then we saw we saw a V-shaped recovery after the bulls found support at 14,931 points. So I am still going to call out the two very important areas of lower support in the Nasdaq 100. The first one obviously at 15,000 points, and the second one at 14,900 points. But we have the RSI at 57 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint, and we are trading above the moving averages, so we are very close relative to the all-time high in the Nasdaq 100, which is at 15,184 points. So we are pretty much 44 points away, with the RSI being at 57 points. So I think that we are going to see a new all-time high in the Nasdaq 100 sooner rather than later. And I would say that we are going to see a new all-time high probably in the course of this week. And now I want to take a look at Idex, which should have already reported earnings Let's see if Idex already reported earnings. Let me pull up here the live news tab. Idex went down today 2.19% and it closed today's trading session at $2.23. So let me pull up the 1 day, 1 minute. So has Idex reported earnings? Let me see. Okay, let me pull up here the live news tab. Yeah, so they reported earnings. Let's see what happens here. So Ideanomics Q2 EPS of 2 cents misses the estimate of 1 cent. So we are talking about a negative EPS, obviously over here. This is not a profitable company yet, but this was a little miss, guys. So the analysts were expecting one EPS, a negative EPS of 1 cent, and Idex posted a negative EPS of 2 cents. So pretty much in line with what the analysts were expecting, and sales came in at $33 million, beating the estimate of $31 million. So we can make the case that Idex reported very decent earnings, guys. Is there any news over here that is worth being pointed out? I don't see anything. So let me see. So yeah, they pretty much lost the same money that the analysts were expecting Idex to lose in the second quarter of this year, and they beat on sales, guys, by almost something like $2 million. But the stock isn't doing much. I mean, this was not an unbelievable earnings report either, right? So Idex is trading as of now at $2.27. So I am going to pull up here the 4-hour chart. So we are slightly above a very important area of lower support for Idex at $2.20. $2.20 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Idex back on May 11th. It also acted as a lower support back on April 21st, but we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance that acted as such back on December 14. So what is going to be the most important task for the bulls of Idex tomorrow? It would be filling the gap up to the next important area of overhead resistance for Idex near $2.53. $2.53 is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Idex have failed on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 occasions in recent days, and we are also talking about a former area of lower support that already acted as such for Idex back on July 12. So that is going to be the main task for the bulls tomorrow, and we can make the case that Idex reported a decent or that Idex posted rather a decent earnings report. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Jumia Technologies, ticker symbol JMIA. I always forget the ticker symbol of Jumia Technologies, guys. So Jumia, wow, this stock has gotten absolutely killed, guys, in the last 2 or 3 months. And as of now, we find the stock of this company that is considered, and I am quoting, the Amazon of Africa. So Jumia is trading as of now 74% of its highs. Jeez. So if any of you did your due diligence, your research work, and if any of you is bullish on Jumia, I mean, what are you waiting for, guys? We're talking about almost an 80% discount. So Jumia went down today 4.86%, and it closed today's trading session at $18.32. And we can notice here on the 4-hour chart that the stock of this company is extremely oversold. We can see the relative strength index at 28 points. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. And if tomorrow, guys, and taking into account that the stock of this company closed today's trading session at $18.32, if tomorrow I happen to see Jumia starting to consolidate slightly above $18, which is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the stock of this company back on May 11th, I am going to be very tempted in order to pick up some shares of Jumia Technologies. This is an $18 stock. I could be purchasing 150 or 200 shares of Jumia. In which case, my price target, in order to try to take a trade, with the stock of this is not an African company, by the way, guys. This company is based in Germany. However, the main commercial operations of Jumia are taking place in Africa. So let's say that this is a German company that operates in Africa. So if I happen to start a trade, as I just said, at $18, then my price target is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance near $28. $28 is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Jumia failed back on May 18th, and we are also talking about a former area of lower support that already acted as such for Jumia back on April 20th. If I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, picking up shares, as I just said, near $18, $18.30, and selling out of those shares at $28, I could be potentially making a profit of 34%. And mind you guys, the way up is going to be a tough one because the bulls of Jumia are going to have to take on the moving averages on the 4-hour chart, the 50 SMA near $21 and the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart near $24. But I do believe that if the stock of this company happens to hold the lower support of $18, this is a buy, guys, in my opinion. I gotta be very honest. So I don't mind waiting until Jumia reaches $28 in order to close this trade. And the third stock of this video, the third and last stock of this video, is going to be Alibaba. Once again, guys, I mean, I haven't talked about Baba in something like 2 weeks. And guys, and I have said this here plenty of times on the channel, this is by far, but I mean by far, the cheapest stock in the stock market, by far. Today I actually purchased, I am going to show you that position, 50 more shares of Baba. As of now, I have 2 swing positions opened on Baba. The first one with an average cost of $190 and the second one with an average cost of $180 something. So Baba went down today 3.13% and it closed today's trading session at $182.71. So let me show you the position that I opened today on Baba. And I purchased the 50 shares at $182.18. And as of now, I have an unrealized gain over here of $16. And let's talk real quick, guys, or quickly, about the valuation of Baba. And why do I say that this is the cheapest stock by far in the stock market? So take a look at the market cap of Baba, guys. We're talking about a $512 billion market cap. And the price to earnings ratio of Baba is 22.92. We can round this up to 23 points. And remember, guys, that the price to earnings ratio is a metric that shows us the relation between the current price of a stock relative to its earnings per share. So how can we determine if Baba is actually a good deal? So let's compare another company with a market cap, that is similar to Baba in order to be able to make a comparison over here. And you guys know that I am a Tesla bull, and Tesla obviously is a company that is performing its commercial operations in a different field relative to Baba. But I just want to show you some differences over here. So in the case of Tesla, and you guys know that this is a long-term investment for me, okay, in the case of Tesla, we have a market capitalization that is relatively similar to the market cap of Baba. We're talking about a $679 billion. And take a look at the price to earnings ratio, guys. 373 points in the case of Tesla. Whereas Baba, with a market cap that is, close to the market cap of Tesla, has a price to earnings ratio of almost 23 points. So Baba is, as I just said, a steal, guys. Buying Baba at these levels, and obviously I believe that this thought about the Chinese stocks and all that bad stuff is going to go away, and I truly believe that most of the Chinese stocks are going to fly high once again. So if I happen to be right, if the Chinese stocks are going to be back, or at least most of the good Chinese stocks that we find over there, like Tencent and Baba and and JD.com. So if I happen to be right, purchasing shares of Baba at these levels is like going to a bank to steal money. That's it, guys. This is a steal. So that's what I believe, obviously. And let me pull up here once again the 4-hour chart. So what is going to be my plan when it comes to this position that I opened today in the case of BABA? Okay, the first thing that is worth pointing out here on the 4-hour chart is that BABA is extremely, but I mean extremely oversold. We can see the relative strength index of this stock at 22 points on the 4-hour chart. So needless to say, BABA is due for a relief rally sooner rather than later. However, guys, what can happen if BABA breaks the low point of what was this date, guys? What happens if BABA breaks the low point of July 26th near $179? What happens if that area of lower support happens to be broken to the downside? Okay, let me show you what could happen. I need to pull up here the 3-year chart, guys. So if that area of lower support happens to be broken to the downside, the next important area of lower support for BABA is going to be at around $170, guys. $170 acted as a lower support for BABA back in March, guys, of last year. March of last year, and it also acted as a lower support for BABA back in March of 2019. We are talking about prices that we haven't seen in the case of BABA in almost 2 years. This is absolutely unbelievable. So if I happen to keep on loading up in the case of BABA at $170, and I am going to be doing it, and you guys know that I put my money where my mouth is, then my price target, guys, in order to close this trade, is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance for BABA at $203. $203 is a previous area of lower support that really acted as such for BABA back on July 23rd, and it also did it back on July 19th. And we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of BABA failed back in the beginning of August. So, guys, I don't know what to say over here, and I have been saying this in pretty much all of the chats that I am participating in. And this is a steal, guys, unless obviously if any of you believe that the China FUD is going to keep on going and that these stocks are going to be delisted and all that good stuff. If that's your belief, then obviously stay away from any Chinese stock. But in my opinion, and I believe I'm right until proven wrong, I believe that most of the Chinese stocks are going to be back, and in a matter of 1 or 2 or 3 months, if you didn't buy BABA at these levels, you are going to regret it. That's my personal opinion. And with BABA, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. On our Instagram account, we are posting news and information on a daily basis. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Keep on crushing the markets, and peace out.